Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and it's time to talk Mandalorian Episode 4, Sanctuary. I thought this was another great chapter in the series. I am loving this series. I think it's just a wonderful show that manages to go all across the galaxies far, far away, take us to new areas like good TV shows do. I'm talking Star Trek, etc., where you travel to a place, you meet a star of the week, you move on to the next one, and you have all these people that you want to go back and see more of, but hey, we got to keep moving forward, and I love that about this show. And this episode particularly was the first time we really got to meet a couple strong female characters. And I bring that out because, my God, some of these critics are just ridiculous. On Twitter, there were just all these extreme feminists. Just, I'm extremely tired. Is there not a single female speaking character in the first episode of Mandalorian? Have I missed something, right? And it kept going. And she's a notorious, extreme is a fair word. But she missed the fact that the lady armorer was, in fact, a lady. I don't remember her name, but she also didn't clearly pay attention that episode 3 was directed by Deborah Chow, which is one of the best episodes I think they've had. The first female to direct a live action Star Wars film. There's a lot of stuff happening. In this episode, introduced Gina Carano as Cara Dune, as well as Julia Jones as the farmer widower who becomes a love interest for the Mandalorian, which we'll get into all of that. But the show is doing it. I think it's doing it well. It's equal opportunity. It's doing it in ways that affect the story. It's not forcing it. And that's where things get problematic. And this idea of forcing the feminism into these properties because you have to is where things can go wrong. And I see as a culture, that's the one thing I can see myself in the middle on. I understand there's a lot of, opportunities I feel like on the more liberal side where we're like, no. You have to have 10 females in it. If you have 10 males in it, it doesn't matter. Write them in. No, that's not the way to do it. Yes, we should write female characters, but write them right. Make sure the story warrants them. And also make sure there are female voices involved in writing them or directing them. And so I think Star Wars is doing that. And I think, the two leads of the show are a baby, we assume is male, but we don't know, and a guy in a helmet who we don't even really see his face, and lots of aliens. So I think, this critique is so off base and frustrating that it was nice to finally have the show finally just introduce some strong female characters that were great. Gina Carano plays it awesome, just completely kicks his butt in the scene and becomes sort of an adversary, but then you realize, oh no, they can go toe to toe, and then they get a mutual respect for one another, and I really appreciated that. I thought she was the best acting she has done to date. And the episode itself also directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Now, the second female to direct live action Star Wars. Ron Howard's daughter I was a little worried because I don't know much of her directorial work. I think she hasn't done much. But I thought she did a great job keeping up with everything else, all the other episodes, the action, the pacing. I've seen some people, frustrated with the romantic subplot, but it didn't bother me, and I'll explain why. But I wanted to just make sure I gave you my general overall thoughts before I break down more specifics about spoilers. Overall, I thought this was a really good chapter. We got a lot more Baby Yoda. He's adorable. Gave us a lot of little meme drops. Him with the cup when they're fighting. Some would say cheesy. I like it. It feels like TV. I'll be honest. It's a little cheesier. But I think that's the tone. They're going a little bit more family friendly while still being serious. And I think they're walking that line well. Like, this is a show I would show my kids, younger kids. It's safe for them, but it's a little, intense, but not so intense that you have to worry. And I think that's a great lane to be in, and I think they're handling it well. Dramatic moments, but fun, and just keeps the energy up. Good adventure. High marks again for this show. I think in chapter 4, I'm still very excited. I cannot wait to see where this goes, and I'm looking forward to it. But now that I've gotten all that away, if you haven't watched it yet, I highly suggest you do, because now I'm going to get into some spoiler territory. So let's break down this episode and get to it. First, before I even do that, I want to sort of recap Disney Plus in general. Home Alone, as I suspect, is now getting obviously prominent placement due to the holidays to remind people, oh, wow, they have Home Alone, which I think is going to get watched a lot this season thanks to this. But there's nothing else really there. Everything is still the same. And it's like, I don't care about new episodes of High School Musical, the musical, or Encore, or Jeff Saves the World, or that bad Noel show, which everyone says the movie is really unfunny, even though it stars two amazingly funny people, Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick. But they need more. They desperately are going to need more, especially come December, January, like Mandalorian's keeping this afloat. If I didn't have Mandalorian, I would be done. Mandalorian is definitely, without a doubt, the show of this platform. And Mandalorian is doing great. This episode, the lengths are still surprising, although this one was the longest yet, and it felt that. I think 45 minutes is where they should be going because you get enough, but 38, 33, 40, they're keeping in sort of that half hour to 40-minute range for each episode versus going for a full 50 or 60 minutes is probably a budgetary reason. But this was the first week where I thought, okay, they did brush through a lot of this quickly. It's establishing a pace that's a little quicker than usual, but that's the pace of television if you're going to sort of do these moments where you meet people and then you move forward. And then you meet new people and you keep going forward. So I could see why they're doing it. And it's growing on me, and this will be a nice, easy show to binge later. So all of that is fine. The episode itself, I like a lot where they're building sort of the world. Before I even get anywhere else, sort of the overall critique also I've seen of this show is, they're just ripping off an episode of the Clone Wars. Everyone should do better research because it's clearly ripping off Seven Samurai. That's what this whole episode is. So it's not ripping off Clone Wars or anything else. It's ripping off Akira Kurosawa, who did it first. And about Seven Samurai come and help the villagers, stop the bad people. Instead of 7, there are 2 in this episode, and train them and get them ready. But it's always funny to me. We're like, yeah, no, it's not as good because Clone Wars did it. No, Kurosawa did it. It's always somebody's always done something, so it's not always the best critique when I read those. I find those funny. But what I was going to say is I loved sort of this world building of here we have the krill or whatever we're calling these neon blue shrimps. Cute little thing. We're establishing, there's a whole world even underwater in Star Wars. And then we bring it into our world where we realize, they're just farmers eating this shrimp, and look, it's a whole little town. It feels like old Vietnam or something. They're all sort of living peacefully. Robots are helping them do it. They're living in this place in the middle of nowhere. And then tragedy, we meet this mom, and then tragedy sort of rakes. There's all these scavengers that are there to get it. I loved this shot under the netting. It was I was like, where did they go? Oh, cool. That was actually a smart getaway. And I thought this Julie Jones, she was a great character. I liked her. They get off. She escapes. Then we realize the Mandalorian's flying over this planet, is going to connect with them. And more Baby Yoda moments of him hitting the buttons he's not supposed to. Look, it's cute. I thought it was cute. Didn't think that was ridiculous at all. So they find, he's talking sometimes for exposition's sake, which is smart. How else do you do this? Probably doesn't need to talk as much as he does, but it helps. It gives Pedro Pascal something to do. But they decide to land here. He's going to leave Baby Yoda, but clearly that's not happening. And thank God he doesn't, because we get to have some fun little Baby Yoda meme moments in the episode. So there we go. He meets at a bar. I love meeting new Star Wars bars. And then we see that there's another visitor in the bar, Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune. And also, little stuff like this, a Star Wars waiter. Nice to have, what a nice little fun supporting role for the Star Wars waiter to sort of, hey, what can I get for you? I like these moments. I mean, we have actually time to sit and do a scene and how does Star Wars work? I'm into that kind of stuff a lot. And Gina Carano, clearly someone he catches his eye and knows something's crazy. They have a big battle, and I really enjoyed the battle because she really gives it to him. And there's some great hits that go both ways and prove that shot, the smack on the face. It just proves he isn't, unstoppable, which I like. There are foes out there that can handle him. He's not like Superman. He's not like the perfect person. And here the only reason sort of things end because of this sort of great moment where they get their blasters, and then the funniest sort of Yoda moment of him sipping his tea or soup. Shall we get some soup? It's just a cute little moment that works. And then we get to meet these characters and follow them further. The show then progresses to learn that they hired these two to protect their village, the people we meet in the beginning, and then Julia Jones' character and Mando, clearly sparking a love interest. And I've seen people cringing at this, but I thought it was a really important part of it. I liked her performance. She's clearly some sort of soldier herself. They have the good moment of why don't you take your helmet off, which he oddly does for lunch. But I liked all of this. I thought this was a really interesting sort of taste of Mandalorian finally getting the opportunity to give up on the lifestyle that he's in and pursue just a normal life. He's given this opportunity randomly with someone who seems to really is interested in getting to know him, impressed by him. He clearly likes her. There's children there to raise the kid. All of this is sort of set to test our Mandalorian to probably the even tougher test than he faces of, whoa, should I just give up my whole persona? He explains that the helmet is there as a child, and once you take it off, you can't put it back on. And I thought that was fascinating because it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to give up this lifestyle. And he contemplates it for a moment near the end, and I think that's why this scene and this whole thing works. Because when she finally is tempting him and potentially offering to take the helmet off to try and get him to stay, he's considering it. And then he doesn't. And then there's this moment where he stops her before chaos goes, which I appreciated. We got a little moment of, yeah, he really wants to, but he can't. He's not going to do that. And then we have this really dark moment where the sniper puts Baby Yoda in the in the crosshairs, which was, my God, does it get much darker than that in a Star Wars movie? I was like, are they going to do it? And then the bullet went off, and nope, he's saved once again. Gina Carano and Cara Dune steps up, clearly tracked this guy coming. She's clearly maybe the better bounty hunter, which, you know what? I'm okay with that. I like having someone for him to be a little keep him on his toes. Once again, badass female character that doesn't punch you in the face that she's female. She's just a strong character. That's how you make a strong female character that, you know, everyone can look up to. And again, great performance by her. She's usually not a very great actress, but I thought in this show she got some opportunities to shine. So I like the character. I liked that reveal. Everyone's sad that Baby Yoda is going to go, and while he's thinks about leaving it there, which I thought they were going to do. That's what's so nice about the show for me as well, is sort of these surprises of, are they going to do that? Is that it? Baby Yoda's gone? Would have probably upset a lot of people, but it kind of made sense. And so for him to sort of realize, I can't keep him here. He's just as dangerous. It's just as dangerous for him here because they know he's here. Goodbye to the villagers. And then nice, cute animatronic Yoda at the end. It all worked. And directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Bravo. Ron Howard solo clearly paid off for something. He got his daughter to be able to step up and do Star Wars because she got to watch some of that, I heard. Overall, I think a really strong episode. I still think episode 3 is my favorite. But I liked the cool war scene. It was a fun moment. I liked them taking over the scavengers and the I forget what that's called from Return of the Jedi. But some strong moments. And I think the most important moment, letting the character have that opportunity of, do I give up on all this? Is he going to take it? Does he pause and consider it? All of that stuff, to me, was the most fascinating of the episode, and some more cute Baby Yoda moments. But also, I loved meeting Cara Dune, and I loved the widower. I thought, you know what? Wow, this could be. I kind of want to see him retire and just live off and help people and just give up at all. Like, go do it, Mando. What are you waiting for? Like, go live the life you want to live. Just take the helmet off and relax for once. But can he? That's the struggle, right? And that makes the character so much more deeper and interesting. So I think this chapter was important and necessary to borrow a lot of Kurosawa and go that Seven Samurai plot route. It just sort of was an easy way for them to sort of fill in some action, but also really give the Mandalorian that serious test of, is this what I want to do anymore? Am I fed up with this? The Empire, everything. Like, is this really what I want to do? To me, it was fascinating. What did you guys think? I'm curious. Tell me down in the comments below, or hit me up on social media at Andy Signore. I'll be reviewing the show until it ends. I don't know what we're going to do when it does end, because Winter Soldier and the Falcon doesn't air to the spring, I think. They need something else quick. Come on, Disney Plus, you better be greenlighting like a dozen things right now, because in order to keep this going through the years, we need way more than 8-episode shows that are going to last. I want way more. So I hope they step it up, because I think if they do, this will definitely become a thing. Obviously it is, but it'll sustain itself, no problem. But how many times can we go through and watch Home Alone? I mean, they need a lot more content. Am I crazy? I don't want to watch Encore, even though they keep telling me to watch it. Sorry, I like Kristen Bell, but I'm not going to watch it. It's all the same stuff every time on my home screen. Netflix does a really good job of like mixing them up and feeling like, oh, cool, I didn't know they got that movie. And Disney's not going to be able to get other movies. They just threw them all up. That's it. They don't get licensing to other movies. They're going to have new movies that they own, but I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes I love on Netflix where it's like, oh, cool, they got Breakdown starring Kurt Russell. on Amazon Prime or whatever. I want to watch that again. Sometimes you just want that cool old movie, and I don't know how they're going to do it. They have a lot in Fox, but how many kid-friendly things are left to sort of put in there? TBD. What do you guys think? Hit me up down below or on social media, as I said, and I'll be back with more content soon. So thanks so much for watching. Bye, everybody.